So before this video gets started, if you're an Uber driver, a Lyft driver, or a gig worker for any of the platforms and you want paid time off, if you want sick leave, if you ever get into a car accident and you can't work, there's a brand new company that will give you paid time off. They'll replace your income of 80% of what your income is, and they'll give you same day cash transfers to your account. Use my link down below. You'll get your first 30 days for free as a gift. And now let's get on to the video. Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to the Rideshare Hub. My name is Dylan. Thank you so much for coming by. I created this YouTube channel called the Rideshare Hub to give you guys the best tips and secrets on how to be the best rideshare driver, gig economy driver. And in today's video, we're talking about the 20 most up-to-date secrets that most Uber drivers don't know. So yeah, let's get right into it. So the first secret that a lot of Uber drivers don't know is that you can get paid time off and sick leave from a company called Cover, and they actually help get Uber drivers paid time off, which you don't need to pay back. They'll replace 80% of your income if you ever get into an accident, or if you ever get deactivated, or if you ever get temporarily suspended or hospitalized. I'll leave a link down below, but that is the first secret. The second secret is that if you signed up for Uber and you never used a referral code to get your referral promo, you know, Uber always wants to recruit new drivers. They give new drivers guarantees of up to $2,000. So if you signed up for Uber and you forgot to use a code, you can still apply one retroactively. You just have to do it within the first 30 to 90 days. So I'll leave instructions down below for you guys to do that too. Okay, the third secret that a lot of Uber drivers don't know is that you can drive for Uber and for Lyft at the same exact time. I know what you're thinking. Dylan, what? You could pick up people doing Uber and Lyft at the same time? You're gonna have too many people in your car. Well, you can't do it at the same exact time, but you can basically have both apps on, so you can be doing Uber, and as soon as you get a ride request with Uber, you turn your Lyft app off, and when you finish that ride, sign on with both apps again, and then, you know, that way you're always trying to get the most amount of rides and you'll make more money. Okay, the fourth secret that a lot of Uber drivers don't know, and I used to do this all the time, is you actually miss out on rides when you drive around. When I first started driving for Uber, after I finished a ride, I was like, all right, I gotta be on the prowl. I gotta be on the search for my next big ride. I thought that driving around was good. Trust me, it's the worst thing you can do. You're wasting money on gas, putting miles on your car, and thirdly, you could potentially be driving away from customers. The best thing you could do after you drop off a passenger, literally drive down the block. Maybe you don't want to wait outside of your passenger's house, but drive down the block and wait for your next ride. This way you'll get a ride much faster and you'll put less miles on your car. Secret number 5 is that you can have a dash cam in your car. Uber said, I did all the research, Uber said that you can use a dash cam in your car, record video of your passengers. However, you cannot post it online for entertainment purposes. You can't put that video up on the internet. And also for audio, you do need to have your passengers' consent in some states, and in other states, you basically, you can just record audio without their consent. In some states though, you need to have a sign in your car at least, so check with your local state authority on that one. All right, secret number 6 is that you can make extra money as an Uber driver with these extra apps, is what I call them. I call them extra apps because there are a lot of these extra apps which cater specifically to Uber drivers. There's companies that launch, there's one called OCTOPUS, for instance. They pay Uber drivers to put a tablet in their car. They'll send you a free tablet and they'll pay you up to $100 a month just by having a tablet in your back seat. There's other apps which pay you to play different styles of music to promote like smaller artists. There's some that pay you to wrap up your car. Personally, I don't want to drive around with a Mountain Dew sticker on my car, but hey, if you want to make some extra money doing that, you can do that too. Again, I'll have the links down below for all of these services. There's another one, by the way, called Cargo and Firefly. You put an ad on the top of your car and you drive around. There's little, it's a digital ad actually, so it's always changing. You hook it up to your battery, your car battery. Some people say it drains your battery. I don't know, I haven't tried it out myself, but I know some of those companies pay a lot of money, like hundreds of dollars per month, so might be worth checking out. Number 7 is that there are apps that help you find hotspots. So one of these apps that I really like is called Gridwise. There's another one called Fairpilot. They basically show you where the best spots are to drive, and that way, you know, at least in my area in Orange County, California, like I know where all the hotspots are, and if you know your area well, you might too, but at the same time, they change. Like in the evening, sometimes they're busier, and then morning, sometimes they're busier. So these apps can really be helpful. Again, I'll leave a link down below to save you that Google search. Number 8, the number 1 way to get more tips with your passenger. And I used to not know this one. When I first started driving, I thought, oh, I gotta get more tips. Let me get outside, let me open my door for them, let me have my car super clean. Look at my car now, it's pretty dirty. It doesn't really even matter. You can have the dirtiest car, maybe not the dirtiest car in the world, but you don't need to do any of that stuff, okay? You don't need to give candies to your passengers, water bottles, nothing. You don't even need to play music. The number 1 way to get more tips is to establish an emotional connection with your passenger. If you can relate to your passenger on one way, you don't want to be shoving some sales pitch down their throat, you don't want to, you know, be talking the ear off, but if you can let them talk, ask them, maybe ask them a question or two. If they don't want to talk to you, leave it, don't talk to them. But if they start talking to you first, or you know, they're engaging with you, ask them what they do for a living, ask them what they like to do for fun. Ask them, hey, what's your favorite thing to do in the city? If they start talking, you know, ask them a couple follow-up questions. If they feel like they matter, and if you can give them an emotional connection, they will leave you a tip, I promise. This leads me to my next secret, secret number 9. And this one took me a while to figure out, but actually guys, most Uber passengers don't want to talk to you. I know, you're thinking, but Dylan, I'm the most important person in the world. Everyone likes to talk to me. Hate to break it to you, but most passengers that get into your car, they just want to sit back and scroll through Instagram, scroll through Facebook. They don't want to talk to you. They just want to get to their destination. Most people, they have busy days. Most people take Uber. They're, you know, for them, time is money. They would rather get an Uber ride to their destination than taking the bus, than, you know, whatever. They want to get to their destination quick, convenient, and for most people, they just don't want to talk to you. So I would say, honestly, like maybe only 20% of your passengers really want to talk. Most of them just want to relax. You can definitely say, hey, how are you? How's your day going? And if if they give you a short, quick answer, they probably don't want to talk. So yeah. And a lot of times you get good tips for not talking to them, because they're used to most Uber drivers just talking to them constantly when they don't want to be talked to. So it can actually pay to not talk, which I personally enjoy. So this leads me to secret number 10, which I already touched on earlier, but some states do require 2-party consent to record audio. So if you have a dash cam in your car, which I do recommend, and I have discounts down below for checking out dash cams, basically recording. This is really good just because you're a driver too, in case you get into an accident or somebody bumps into you or whatever. You know, you have that for insurance, but it can actually be illegal to record audio. So check with your state's law on that one, because you don't want to get in trouble for recording audio of somebody without their permission. So secret number 11 is really important. So when you have this little phone mount on your car, it's actually illegal to put it in the middle of your windshield. you need to put it either on the side or right in front of your air vent. I didn't know this, but it's actually illegal to block the front view of you. So if a police is, you know, whatever, they're looking for somebody, they need to be able to see in the car. So make sure when you're using a phone mount, put it on either the side or get the one that attaches to your air vent. Number 12, this one's one of my favorites. So when you're driving for Uber, you're gonna need a lot of oil changes, and sometimes you're gonna even need to wash your car. I know my car's a little dirty right now, but hey, there's a lot of wildfires and there's a lot of ashes. These are actually ashes on my car, not dust, which is very sad. But when you're an Uber driver, you can actually get discounts when you're getting oil changes and car washes. I know a place down the street, it costs 20 bucks and you can get a monthly membership to get a car wash as many times as you want. And I know what you're thinking, Dylan, I loved washing my car on my own. It's therapeutic, it saves me money. But hey, if you're spending 30 minutes every few days washing your car when you could just, you know, go through a quick car wash, that could save you money, and time is money, and it could be a tax write-off. So yeah, I'll leave links down below for discounts on oil changes and car washes as well. And there's other car wash products too. I actually use this one thing where you wipe down your car. I did make a video on that, but you just wipe down your car and it cleans it for you. So that's pretty cool. All right, tip number 13. Tip number 13, secret number 13. So if you are driving for Uber or a Lyft or a rideshare service, you do need to have a rideshare policy on your insurance. So as with normal insurance, they don't cover you as a rideshare driver basically. And the way that works, I'll break it down for you really quick, is that when you have a normal driver's license, you are not able to transport people in exchange for money, right? But Uber and Lyft give you the license to do that. They say, hey, you can, you know, borrow our license, you can do that. However, they don't give you insurance. You have to get it out on your own. And the reason for that is because if you have somebody in your car and you get into an accident, your normal insurance policy isn't going to cover that accident. So you would have to end up going through Uber and Lyft's insurance, which in a lot of cases is very, very high premiums. And let's just say I've spoken to drivers who have been in accidents while driving, and it is not fun. Uber and Lyft basically do not help you out at all, and they're a really big pain to deal with. So some people I've heard get, I don't want to give you a direct quote because it does vary by state, but in some cases it could only be an extra $10 per month to get a little rideshare policy on your insurance. And just call up your insurance provider and say, hey, you know what, Geico, or I don't know, whatever your insurance is, and say, hey, I was thinking about being an Uber driver. What can I do insurance to be all legit? And they'll tell you, they'll give you the rundown, and yeah, better safe than sorry. Okay, secret number 14 is that if you ever do get deactivated by either Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Instacart, any gig apps, there is a way to get reactivated, a super easy way actually. You don't need to call up Uber support, you don't need to go to the Uber hub. There's a company that is dedicated to helping drivers, gig workers get reactivated, and this only works for false reports. If you got a DUI or if you assaulted your passenger, you're probably not going to get reactivated. But if you got deactivated out of the blue and you know it was basically a false report or a misunderstanding, and you try to get your account back but you couldn't, there's a company that basically links you to a lawyer, and they'll send a letter. They already have the letters drafted up. You might need to hop on a call with them, and they'll say, hey Billy, what happened? You go, I don't know, all of a sudden I signed on one day and I couldn't log on. They'll go, okay, we'll send a letter to Uber for you, and they basically say, hey, can you provide proof of why my client was deactivated? And if Uber can't provide proof, they basically reactivate you. And this has worked for hundreds of drivers. So the company's called Kover, K-O-V-E-R. The link will be down below for them as well. I thought that was really cool because I've never heard of a company doing something like that. So yeah, it's not 100% guaranteed, but it's, you know, free to try. If you use my link, you get your first 30 days for free. It does start at $7 a month, just so you guys know. Secret number 15, guys. This is super, super, super important, especially for my new Uber drivers. So when you drive Uber and Lyft, rideshare, Uber and Lyft give you a tax summary at the end of the year. And on that summary, you use that summary to fill out your taxes when you're doing your tax return. It tells you, it asks how much did you make over the year, what were your expenses, and it also asks you for deductions, right? It asks you, what did you spend to, you know, work on your business? It's gonna ask you, did you get any car washes? Did you buy any, did you get any maintenance on your car? The biggest one though, is it asks you, how many miles did you drive? How many business miles did you drive? So this usually is the way you're gonna get the most amount of tax deductions, is through your miles that you put on your car. Well, Uber and Lyft, like I said, on their tax summary, they give you a mileage number. However, those miles are only miles of on route to pickup and on trip miles. And I think, you know, while you're driving around really looking for rides while your app is on, but they don't count all the miles, you know, when you're driving home, which, hey, that's a business mile because you're, you know, commuting, or when you're driving to a hotspot, or, you know, they just basically don't count a lot of miles. And if you can use a mileage tracker, you could save thousands of dollars on your tax bill. The people who don't do this typically end up spending thousands of dollars on their taxes. And I like money, you like money. Get a simple mileage tracker. You just have, a lot of them are super easy now. You just like literally swipe right if it's a business mile, swipe left if it's a personal mile. Again, I'll leave a link down below. There's an app called Gridwise. Cover does this as well, so you can sign up for either of those. Cover is $7 a month starting, and then Gridwise, they do it for free. But again, Cover has all these other benefits too. Okay, secret number 16. This one should be obvious, but a lot of people don't read the terms of service. You can't take unaccompanied minors. If you get a ride request from somebody who's 17 years old and they're by themselves, you legally cannot take them. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, you know, it's no big deal. They should be, you know, it's not my fault. However, there is a big risk in doing this because, like I was talking about earlier with the whole insurance thing, Uber and Lyft's insurance only covers you if you're following Uber's terms of service, right? And in their terms of service, they say you can't take any minors. So if you're taking a minor in your car and you get into an accident, Uber and Lyft's insurance is not covering it. That's a huge problem. You could get deactivated as well. And it's just a whole, you could also lose your license, right? You want to keep your license, don't break the law. It's against the law to transport a minor for money. Well, it's against the law technically to transport anybody for money. But again, Uber and Lyft give you the license to do that, but they don't give you the license to transfer somebody underage. There are companies out there that do. There's one called Hop Skip Drive. They do, it's like a daycare kind of thing, which you can drive passengers around. But yeah, be careful with unaccompanied minors. You don't want to risk that at all. It's not worth it, even if it's a $50 ride. Just say, sorry, I'm not taking you today. All right, secret number 17 is that if a passenger wants to change their destination, this is important, this will come up. If you're driving for Uber and your passenger goes, oh, you know what? I gotta stop by the bank. Is it okay if I, go to the bank really quick? Or they go, hey, can I stop by the liquor store? They need to change their destination in the app. You need to say, yes, I will, but can you please add that in? You can add in a second stop. As long as it's not Uber Pool or Lyft Line or whatever it's called, Lyft Shared. They have to change their destination. Why? Because if you just, you're going to your normal destination and all of a sudden you go way out of the way to the bank, it kind of looks like you got lost. And that passenger has a really, really easy case of saying, hey, my driver got lost. He took me way out of the way. I know people do this, but they take advantage of the system because they know it looks like you got lost, and it can really easily get a free ride. But if they do change the destination, you know, it doesn't look like you got lost. Okay, secret number 18. Again, this is more of a bad news one, but listen, it's much better to be safe than sorry and to learn all of these negative things so you can save yourself the headache down the line. But secret number 18 is you cannot, under any circumstance, take cash in exchange for a ride. You can accept cash as a tip, that's fine, on top of the fare in the app, but you can never go to pick up somebody up and they say, hey, you know what, can I just give you cash instead? I don't have money on my card or whatever. You can't do that. Again, this comes down to insurance, and I'll explain it really quickly. But basically, if you have somebody who gives you cash for a ride, that ride is not on the app. You don't have Uber and Lyft insurance. You probably don't have your own insurance with your own insurance provider because you thought, hey, I don't need it. You are now operating illegally under your personal driver's license, which does not give you the permission. Again, like I was saying earlier, your normal driver's license does not give you the ability to transport people in exchange for money. Uber and Lyft's licenses do. It covers you on that, you're good. But when you're taking cash for a ride, you're not on Uber and Lyft's platform anymore. Now you're operating a business completely legally, and if you get pulled over, if a cop sees you, if you get a random, I don't know, if you're stopped at a random DUI checkpoint, I don't know, whatever the case is, if you get a ticket, you get pulled over, somebody crashes into you, you accidentally crash into somebody else, people are gonna find out that the person in your back seat gave you cash for a ride. If you think, oh hey, I'll just tell that person to lie for me, well, now you're committing insurance fraud. Do you want to commit insurance fraud? Probably not. Don't accept cash for a ride. You guys are smart enough to figure it out, the risk involved with taking cash for a ride. Do you want to risk your family's financial success? Do you want to go home to your wife or to your, I don't know how old you are. Do you want to go home to your mom or to your girlfriend and say, hey, you know what? I accidentally lost my driver's license today and I can't drive it anymore. And they're gonna go, why? You're like, I took cash for a ride and I got pulled over. And, you know, I thought I just need the 20 bucks, but now I can't work anymore and I don't have a driver's license. And you're gonna ask your mom for a ride to your next job. I don't know. Don't take cash for a ride. I'm serious, guys. I know so many drivers do. And if you're watching this and you do take cash for rides, please stop. There's no other way to convince you, but just don't take cash for rides. It's not worth it at all. Okay, secret number 19, big secret. This one sucks, by the way. So again, not a lot of good news in this secret. Secret number 19. A lot of passengers think they're smart. A lot of passengers think they're funny even, and they will leave the driver a bad rating. 1 star them, and they'll say, oh, my driver was speeding. Oh, my driver was driving crazy. Oh, my driver was rude to me. Look, I get it. A lot of drivers are. A lot of drivers do speed. A lot of drivers are rude. And a lot of drivers drive crazy. But most drivers drive pretty good. And a lot of passengers, you know, if it's a long trip or whatever, even if it's a $5 trip, they'll just leave a false report in order to get a free ride. And what ends up happening is a lot of drivers end up getting deactivated over it. That's it. End of story. That's the number 19. Passengers leave false reports. Again, you can use Cover to get reactivated. That does happen. So luckily, you know, you can try to get reactivated, but that's just one of the realities of being a driver. You have a lot of liability. Somebody getting into your car, they can do that to you at any time. Okay, the last secret number 20 is airports, airport rules. I'm gonna keep this brief, but the main thing you need to know for airport pickups is you have to follow the signs that are both in the app and at the airport. First, you want to look at the app of all the airports in your area so you know the pickup locations. And then once you go to the airport, they will say rideshare pickup zones. You need to follow those zones. Usually Uber and Lyft, they tell you exactly where to go in the app, so it's no big deal. But you can't, basically, if you go against the signs that they tell you, if you just pick up your passenger, if they call you and they say, hey, you know, I couldn't find the pickup zone, can you just pick me at my gate? You can't do that. Why? Because airports are super strict with security and even traffic too. They don't want Uber and Lyft drivers picking up anywhere. You have to go to the pickup zones. And if you don't, if you pick up a passenger anywhere, you can get a ticket of up to $2,000. You heard me correctly. If you pick up a passenger outside of the pickup zone, a cop has every right to walk up to you and hand you a ticket for $2,000. And I have heard this happen multiple times, several times. So make sure you know the airport rules. Make sure you have the placard. They'll give you a placard to put in your car as well, in your windshield. So have that and follow the airport rules. Those are the 20 secrets, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, check out all the links down below for the products and services that I did talk about in this video. Thank you for watching. Leave the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe, and I will talk to you guys soon. This has been another episode of the Rideshare Hub. Bye, guys.